How does a bicycle stay balanced? Hi, welcome to Curious Kids Every Day. I'm Josh. How are you doing today? It's so good to hear from you. Hey, do you know how to ride a bicycle? My kids are just now really starting to learn. They've got those pedal-less bikes where you just push yourself forward and see how long you can stay balanced before you put your feet back on the ground. I don't remember these bikes when I was a kid. I think they're a new thing, but they're called pedal-less bikes. Have you seen these? You know, I remember learning to ride a bike when I was a kid. My dad and I went out and he'd push me forward and say, pedal, pedal, pedal. And it took me a lot of tries. But eventually I got it. Woo, there I went. You never forget the first time you take off on your own and start pedaling without falling. Because it felt like you'd never get it. Until you finally got it. And once you got it, it felt really, really easy. Have you ever wondered how a bicycle stays upright when you're riding it? It certainly doesn't do it on its own, because the first time you try to keep it upright, it just falls right over. Clearly it needs some help to keep moving forward without falling. So, how does it all work? If you've ever tried to stand a bike still without touching it, what does it do? Right, it just tips right over. But what if you push it forward? Well, it stays upright for a little bit before it tips over, right? So, why does moving it forward make it easier to balance? Well, when you're riding, your wheels are spinning. And spinning things don't like to change direction easily. That's because of something called gyroscopic stability. It's the same reason a spinning top stays upright while it's moving, but falls over when it slows down. The faster your bike's wheels spin, the more stable they become. But that's not the whole story. The real secret is you. Your brain and body are constantly working together to keep the bike from tipping over. You make tiny steering adjustments all the time, even if you don't realize it. If you start leaning a little to the left, your arms automatically turn the handlebars slightly to the left. That movement brings the bike's wheels back under your body, helping you straighten up again. There's also something special about the bike's design. See, the part that holds the front wheel is called the fork. If you look at a bike, the fork is that metal piece that connects the front wheel to the handlebars. It's shaped like an upside-down Y, with two arms that go down to the wheel and one part that goes up to the handlebars. Because that fork leans backward a bit, it makes the front wheels what's called self-steer. That means the bike naturally wants to turn in the direction it's leaning, even if you don't try. So imagine your bike starts tipping a little to the left. Because of the fork's tilt, the front wheel automatically turns slightly to the left too. When that happens, your bike rolls back underneath you, and you end up balanced again. Phew. So even though it feels like you are doing all the work, the bike's shape is secretly helping you every second of your ride. Really, riding a bike is a team effort between you, your bike, physics, and practice. The wheel's spinning motion gives stability. The bike's shape helps correct small wobbles, and your brain keeps adjusting to stay balanced. When you put all of that together and add some pedaling, you can glide smoothly forward without tipping. riding a bike feels impossible the first time you try it, because in a way, it is. The only way to balance is to be going really fast. You need enough motion to keep it upright. But the only way to get that much motion is to be comfortable enough riding a bike to get going that fast. That's why learning to ride takes a little time. Your brain has to figure out how to make all of those tiny corrections without even thinking about it. But once it does, the whole thing becomes automatic. Have you ever heard the phrase, "It's just like riding a bike"? That phrase basically just means, once you learn it, you never forget it. Which is exactly what it's like to learn to ride a bike. It feels impossible until it's easy. Okay, let's have a quick quiz. What's the name of the force that helps spinning things stay upright? That's called gyroscopic stability. And what do you do to help your bike balance when it starts leaning to one side? You steer slightly toward the lean. And why do people say, "It's just like riding a bike"? Because once you learn how, your brain never forgets how to balance. Let's play true or false. True or false? The faster your wheels spin, the harder it is to stay balanced. That's false. Faster spinning actually helps you stay balanced. True or false? The front wheel of a bike is tilted slightly backward to help it self-steer. That is true. That tilt helps correct your balance. Okay, one more true or false. True or false? A bicycle can balance by itself even when it's standing still. That is false. It needs motion to stay upright. Would you rather have a bike that can float on water or one that can ride up walls? I am definitely going to pick float on water. If you could ride a bike through the water, that would be awesome. I can think of so many places I would love to get to go if I could ride on the water on a bike. All right, here's a couple of rounds of what am I? What am I? I move in a circle. I touch the ground. And I spin really, really, really fast. I am a wheel. All right, one more. What am I? I help you stop. I squeeze when you pull a lever. And without me, you'd roll on forever. I am the brakes. All right, let's see how much you know about different ways to get places. I'm going to name a way you get from one place to another, and you tell me, how many wheels does that thing have? How many wheels does a car have? Yep, 4 wheels. What about a skateboard? Yep, 4 wheels again. Okay, none of the rest of these are going to have 4 wheels, all right? What about a unicycle? Yep, a unicycle only has 1 wheel. My dad had a unicycle when we were growing up, and he would always practice, and let me tell you, it was tough. I was always so impressed when he could do it. What about a tricycle? How many wheels does it have? Well, a triangle has 3 sides, so 3 wheels. What about a motorcycle? Yep, that's 2 wheels. All right, don't think too hard about this one, okay? What about an 18-wheeler truck? Yep, you got it. It's got 18 wheels. In a lot of ways, your brain is like a muscle that you have to train. Things that feel impossible can actually be accomplished if you practice enough that your brain just learns to make those connections without having to think about it. If you actually had to sit there while you were on a bike and consider very carefully every single movement and motion you needed to make in order to stay upright, you'd never ride a bike. No one would ride a bike. But because your brain is always learning how to do new things when you practice, eventually you're able to actually learn to ride a bike. So don't get discouraged when you can't do something on the first try or the second try or even the 10th try. Whether you realize it or not, every time you mess up, your brain learned a lesson. And your brain is always trying to help you do the thing you're trying to do. So just keep practicing. Even if it doesn't seem like you're making progress, your brain is working behind the scenes in ways you might not even notice. And soon enough, whatever you're trying to do will be just like riding a bike. What kind of question do you think we'll ask tomorrow on Curious Kids Every Day? I can't wait to find out. So until then, keep asking questions and stay curious, kids. Oh, and a listener of the show is turning 5 today. Happy birthday to Luca from Virginia. Luca's family are members of the Curious Kids Club. So for all the grown-ups listening, if your family wants to join the Curious Kids Club, go to supportcuriouskids.com. See you tomorrow.